Welcome to This Explainer. If you've ever lifted the lid off a steaming pot of biryani and been hit by that intoxicating wave of saffron, cardamom, and roasted meats, well, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a culinary masterpiece. Today, we are taking a cinematic deep dive into how this incredible dish actually came to be. We're tracking an epic, centuries-long history that literally shaped entire culinary traditions. Which brings us to an absolutely fascinating question. How exactly did a royal Persian dish cross thousands of miles, adapt to completely new geographies, and totally conquer the Indian subcontinent, not to mention modern streets worldwide? It's kind of mind-boggling when you think about it. We aren't just looking at a recipe being handed down. We are talking about a dish that managed to connect totally distinct cultures, powerful empires, and everyday society over hundreds of years. Let's kick things off with part 1, Roots in Ancient Persia and the Royal Kitchens. Here is the sweeping timeline of the evolution of biryani we'll be exploring. We start with ancient Persia and those royal kitchen origins, move right into the Mughal arrival and its entry into India, check out the regional spread, creating all those diverse variations, and finally arrive at the modern day, from restaurants to street food. To really get the vibe of those early days, I want you to picture ancient Persian chefs. Imagine giant, heavy copper pots glowing amber over open wood fires. Inside, fragrant, long-grain rice and incredibly rich marinated meats are going through this slow, highly controlled transformation. Fun fact, the name itself actually comes from the Persian word biryan, which literally translates to fried before cooking. Back then, this was a deeply luxurious, labor-intensive meal crafted exclusively for royalty. It was the ultimate symbol of extreme wealth and absolute culinary mastery. Moving right along to our next chapter, the Mughal Empire's feast and crossing the cultural threshold. You see, recipes rarely stay put when empires are on the move. When the massive Mughal Empire swept into India, they brought their emperors, their lavish palaces, and importantly, their grand royal feasts right along with them. This era drove a profound cultural transition. The Persian foundations of the dish were suddenly interacting with the unbelievable agricultural resources of the Indian subcontinent. There's actually a famous legend that hits the nail on the head here. The story goes that Mumtaz Mahal, yes, the very queen who inspired the Taj Mahal, was visiting the army barracks and found the Mughal soldiers severely undernourished. To fix this, she supposedly ordered the royal chefs to whip up a hearty, rich dish of meat and rice to build their strength back up. Whether that's historical fact or just a great myth, it perfectly captures how this era fused elegant Persian traditions with vibrant Indian vitality. This leads us perfectly into our next focus, the art of dum cooking and mastering the spices. As those Persian techniques married Indian resources, a whole new culinary art form was born. Imagine stepping into a bustling Indian spice market back in the 16th century. You're instantly hit with the intense, intoxicating aroma of saffron, a spice that was quite literally worth its weight in gold, right alongside earthy cardamom and sharp, pungent cloves. These weren't just simple flavorings, guys. They were major status symbols. They added incredible depth, vivid color, and complex aromas that completely elevated that original Persian recipe into something far more robust and dramatic. But how do you lock in those incredibly expensive, powerful flavors? Well, chefs perfected the art of dum cooking. This is a traditional technique of slow cooking food in a tightly sealed container to trap the steam and aromas. And it is absolute genius. By tightly sealing the heavy lid to the cooking pot with a thick rim of wheat dough, literally zero steam could escape. All those rich, volatile aromas from the spices were trapped inside, intensely infusing every single grain of rice and piece of meat over hours of slow, low-heat cooking. It was basically an ancient pressure cooker, specifically designed to maximize flavor absorption. When you break down the steps of this culinary masterpiece, it reveals a highly architectural approach to food. Step 1, you meticulously prepare those rice grains, washing and soaking delicate basmati. Step 2, you infuse everything with those rich spices. And step 3, the chefs execute a really careful, alternating layering of the fragrant rice and meat. They are literally building a tower of flavor from the bottom up. When cooked on dum, the meat juices and spice steam rise up through the layers, creating one unified, spectacular dish. Now let's explore India's regional biryani variations, effectively creating a sprawling culinary map. As biryani spread across the vast, incredibly diverse landscape of India, it completely refused to stay a single uniform recipe. Just look at this variety. In the south,
Hyderabadi Biryani became famously fiery and spice-forward, deeply influenced by the lavish kitchens of the Nizams. Up in Lucknow, it became delicate, highly fragrant, and smooth. Then you have Kolkata Biryani, which famously features large chunks of whole potatoes. And there's a wild historical quirk behind this one. A deposed Nawab Wajid Ali Shah was exiled to Kolkata. His royal chefs, dealing with a seriously slashed budget, brilliantly threw in potatoes to stretch out the expensive meat, completely accidentally creating a beloved variation. Meanwhile, Malabar biryani uses unique coastal spices, and Delhi biryani sticks closer to its traditional Mughal roots. Every single style is a living historical fingerprint of its region.
Finally, we arrive at our last chapter, a modern global phenomenon and the return to the people. Fast forward to today, and the evolution is complete. A dish that was once fiercely guarded by ancient emperors is now fully returned to the masses. Biryani has completely bridged the gap between the elite and the everyday. It's universally beloved. I mean, it is just as spectacular when served on fine porcelain in an elegant fine dining restaurant as it is when scooped fresh out of a massive metal pot in a vibrant, chaotic street food market. It has totally transcended class, geography, and time to become the ultimate comfort food for millions globally. So what epic, centuries-old history are you tasting in your next bite of biryani? The next time you sit down to enjoy this incredible dish, just remember the epic journey layered into your plate. You're quite literally eating history. You're tasting the legacy of ancient Persia, the extravagance of Mughal palaces, the hum of ancient spice markets, and the brilliant adaptations of regional cooks. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I honestly hope you never look at your food exactly the same way again.